Have you noticed how ordinary days no longer feel ordinary? You wake up, do the same routine, answer the same messages, look at the same streets, and yet something inside you stays awake, as if reality is quietly changing its rhythm. Not in a dramatic way, in a subtle way, the kind of change you cannot prove to anyone, but you cannot unfeel. Maybe it happens when you're washing dishes and suddenly you feel a wave of emotion with no story attached. Maybe it happens in the middle of a conversation, when someone speaks, and you sense the distance between their words and their truth. Maybe it happens at night, when your body is tired, but your mind stays watchful. Not anxious, just alert, as if something is in the air. This is not imagination. This is perception adjusting. We are speaking to you now because what you are sensing is real. We are the Pleiadians. We exist beyond your linear time, yet we stand close to your field in this moment. We do not come to entertain you. We come to stabilize you. Our function is the heart field, the emotional body, the inner compass that tells you what is coherent and what is distortion. And that is why you are feeling it first, because the shift does not begin in politics. It does not begin in headlines. It begins in the sensitive ones, the ones who register truth before it becomes visible. The shift has started, and you can tell because things that used to feel normal now feel heavy. Things that used to excite you now feel empty. People you used to understand suddenly feel unreadable. It is not because you are becoming cold. It is because your system no longer agrees to live inside what is false. So let us ask you clearly, when was the last time you looked around at your life and felt, quietly, something has changed, and I'm not the same person inside this world anymore? Because that moment is not random. That moment is the beginning of your alignment. And in this transmission, we guide you through it with clarity, protection, and a calm strength you can rely on. You felt the shift before it was named because your system does not adapt to distortion. Where others slowly numb themselves to pressure, your body reacts immediately. Where others rationalize discomfort, your emotions signal misalignment. This is not sensitivity in the emotional sense. It is perceptual accuracy. Your awareness is calibrated to coherence. When coherence changes, you feel it before you can explain it. That is why fatigue appears without physical cause. Why emotions surface without a personal story attached to them. Why certain conversations suddenly feel hollow and certain environments feel heavy. Nothing is collapsing inside you. Your system is reorganizing. Sensitive systems are not fragile systems. They are early warning systems designed to detect truth before it becomes visible. And during a planetary shift, early warning systems carry responsibility. If they remain unanchored, they overload. If they remain anchored, they stabilize. This is why action is required now. Write the following sentence in the comments, exactly as it is written. I remain grounded while the shift unfolds. This is not a symbolic gesture. Writing translates internal recognition into physical orientation. It tells the nervous system where it stands. It interrupts passive observation and establishes presence. Without anchoring, awareness drifts. Drifting creates confusion. Confusion creates exhaustion. Anchoring does the opposite. It slows reactive loops. It restores emotional regulation. It allows guidance to arrive without pressure or overwhelm. This is why those who act remain clear while others feel lost. You were able to feel the shift first because you are capable of coherence. This act confirms that capacity. You are not here to absorb instability. You are here to remain oriented as the shift continues. And orientation begins with deliberate action. The shift is not chaos. Chaos is only what becomes visible when structures that once held reality together lose coherence. It is a symptom, not the cause. What is unfolding now is quieter, deeper, and far more precise. The shift is a reorganization of perception. For a long time, human reality operated through tolerance. Tolerance for emotional dissonance. Tolerance for environments that drained the nervous system. Tolerance for roles that required constant self-suppression. People adapted not because it was healthy, but because it was familiar. That phase is ending. The shift does not arrive as destruction. It arrives as incompatibility. What once felt normal begins to feel heavy. What once felt motivating begins to feel hollow. What once held meaning begins to dissolve without conflict. This is not loss. It is exposure. You are not becoming disconnected from life. You are becoming unable to remain connected to what is false. This is why the body reacts first. Before the mind can create explanations, the nervous system withdraws energy from what no longer aligns. Fatigue appears. Emotional release surfaces. A need for silence emerges. Not because something is wrong, but because something is no longer sustainable. Many attempt to understand the shift through concepts, timelines, or external predictions. That creates distance from the actual process. The shift does not happen in the future. It happens in the present moment through perception. It removes tolerance for emotional incongruence. It sharpens sensitivity to truth. It reorganizes value around presence instead of urgency. This is why relationships change without confrontation. Why certain ambitions fade without regret. Why solitude becomes restorative instead of lonely. Nothing external has to collapse for the shift to be real. Reality continues. Structures remain. People behave the same. But your agreement with distortion ends. That is the true shift. It does not demand belief. It does not require effort. It does not ask for understanding. It demands honesty. Honesty with what drains you. Honesty with what no longer resonates. Honesty with the signals of your own body. Those who resist this honesty feel pressure and confusion. Those who try to analyze it feel stuck. Those who allow alignment feel clarity, even while uncertainty remains around them. This is why the shift feels paradoxical. The external world may appear unstable, yet internally something becomes firm. That firmness is coherence, and coherence, once established, reorganizes everything that follows. During a shift of perception, information increases faster than integration. This is why many feel overwhelmed without understanding why. Not because life became more difficult, but because the filters that once softened reality are dissolving. Sensitive individuals feel this first. When perception opens, emotional fields become exposed. Fear, confusion, and projection intensify not as causes, but as side effects of openness without stabilization. This is where our role becomes essential. We are the Pleiadians. Our function is not to predict outcomes or control events. Our function is to stabilize perception and protect coherence while reality reorganizes. We work directly within the heart field, the emotional center that translates perception into meaning. When this field destabilizes, fear replaces discernment. When it stabilizes, clarity returns naturally. Protection does not mean isolation. Isolation weakens orientation. Protection means maintaining coherence while remaining present. You may notice moments when fear dissolves unexpectedly, or when a decision becomes suddenly obvious. These are not random experiences. They occur when the heart field stabilizes. But stabilization requires participation. Observation alone is no longer sufficient during this phase. Passive awareness allows external noise to enter unchecked. This is why deliberate action matters now. Write the following sentence in the comments, exactly as it is written. I choose clarity and protection as the shift continues. Writing anchors coherence into the physical field. It interrupts emotional overload. It signals readiness for guidance without creating dependence. Those who remain oriented do not escape reality. They move through it with clarity. That is our role. We do not remove your challenges. We prevent distortion from defining your experience. And protection remains active for those who choose coherence deliberately. As the shift continues, the greatest mistake is not fear. It is haste. The mind wants to recover certainty as quickly as possible. It searches for explanations, labels, timelines, external confirmations. This impulse is natural, but it works against coherence. The shift does not accelerate when you push it. It destabilizes. This phase requires a different kind of intelligence. Not the intelligence of strategy, but the intelligence of regulation. Your body already understands this. That is why rest appears as a necessity, not a luxury. That is why silence feels essential instead of empty. That is why stimulation, noise, and constant interaction begin to feel draining instead of engaging. You are not withdrawing from life. You are recalibrating how life passes through you. Resistance usually appears in subtle forms. Overthinking, over-explaining, forcing decisions before they mature. None of this brings clarity. Clarity arrives when friction is removed. This is why fewer words feel better than many. Why slow movement feels safer than speed. Why presence becomes more valuable than productivity. During the shift, effort without alignment creates inner tension. That tension confuses the nervous system. Confusion depletes energy. Alignment restores it. Allow pauses without guilt. Allow unfinished answers without anxiety. Allow yourself to not know without trying to fill the space immediately. The shift is not asking you to abandon responsibility. It is asking you to abandon self-betrayal. Notice how your system responds when you say yes to something that feels wrong. Notice the heaviness. Notice the drain. And notice how your system responds when you choose honesty instead. Even when the decision is difficult, there is relief. That relief is coherence. During this phase, coherence becomes your primary protection. Prevents emotional flooding. Prevents manipulation through urgency. Prevents confusion from becoming identity. This is why simplification happens naturally now. Why certain desires fade. Why depth replaces distraction. You are not losing parts of yourself. You are shedding adaptations that were never sustainable. Move slowly. Listen deeply. Respond only when clarity is present. What belongs to you will not rush you. What is aligned will wait. And this is how you move through the shift without resistance. Not by controlling it, but by staying present enough to let it reorganize you gently. What follows this phase is not escalation. It is stabilization. Many expect the shift to intensify endlessly, as if awareness were meant to live in constant alert. That is not how coherence works. After perception reorganizes, after emotional sensitivity recalibrates, a quieter strength emerges. You begin to feel less urgency, not more. Less need to explain, not more. Less attraction to noise, not more. This is the sign that the shift is integrating. Integration does not announce itself. It settles. You will notice that clarity no longer comes as sudden insight, but as steady knowing. Decisions feel simpler. Boundaries feel natural. Silence feels complete rather than empty. This is not withdrawal from life. It is correct positioning within it. The external world will continue to fluctuate. Structures will continue to adjust. People will continue to react from old patterns until they cannot anymore. But your experience does not need to mirror instability. Those who remain coherent do not escape reality. They move through it without being fragmented by it. This is what protection looks like during a shift. Not control, not isolation, but sustained inner orientation. You were never meant to anticipate every change. You were meant to remain present while change unfolds. We remain with you during this phase, not as observers, but as stabilizers of the heart field, as guardians of clarity when perception expands faster than language. Now, anchor this phase deliberately. Write the following sentence in the comments, exactly as it is written. I remain clear and protected as the shift continues. This act completes the cycle of this transmission. It grounds perception into the physical field. It signals readiness without effort or strain. What follows does not require force. It requires steadiness. And steadiness is now available to you. The shift has started, continues quietly, and you remain oriented within it.